Hello guys, so today we will be talking about general quadratic trinomials. Okay, so this is for grade 8 or second year high school. Okay, so what is trinomials? Okay, so if you see that, in our previous video, so I showed you how to solve simple quadratic trinomials. Okay, so that was x squared, something like 2x minus 1 or something like that. Well, today it is different. So instead of the first term, so there's already a real number beside the variable. Okay, beside from the variable. Well, let's try for this example. 3x. Okay, 3x squared. Okay, blurry. Okay, 3x squared minus 2x minus 1. Okay, so for that example, so this is the I gave you this simple one so that you can understand. Well, the first thing you have to do is to multiply the first and the last term. First term, the real number there, and also the real number here. So let's multiply positive 3 and negative 1. That is negative 3. Okay, so for negative 3, we have to find the factor for negative 3 that will equivalent into negative 2. Okay, so ganun siya. Okay, so next we have to find, so what is the factor, or what are the numbers that can be factored by negative 3? It is negative 1 and 3, or else it's negative 3 and 1. Okay, so this one we have to add this and choose which one will be equivalent into negative 2. Okay, so always mind the sign. Okay, so let's plus. Okay, let's add the negative 1 plus 3. That will be positive 2. What about negative 3 plus 1? That will be negative 2. Okay, so since we are looking for negative 2, therefore we have to use this factor. Okay, we have to use this factor. So let's try to rewrite 3x squared. Okay, so instead of negative 2x, we have to substitute the negative 2x into negative 3 and 1. So we have here minus 3x and then plus x. Okay, so instead of 1x, it's x. Then we have to copy 1. Okay, so for this part, so we can now proceed to factor. Okay, so to factor these numbers. Okay, so first thing you have to do is to focus the first two terms. Okay, the first two terms is 3x squared minus 3x. Well, for that we have to find the common factor for these numbers. Well, for 3x squared minus 3x, the common factor for this is 3x. Okay, so for 3 and 3, it's 3. And x and x, it's x. Okay, so let's try to divide. So 3x squared divided by 3x, that will be x. 3x or negative 3x divided by 3x, it's negative 1. Okay, so let's proceed here for x minus 1. So what is the factor for x and negative 1? Well, what you're going to do is to find factor, common factor for them. But as we can see that the common factor for this is only 1. Okay, so 1. Okay, let's try. So x, it's x. 1 divided by 1 is negative 1. Okay, now we have to divide this by its own so that it will be cancelled. Okay, so x minus 1. Okay, so let's try. Okay, we have to cancel this. Well, our remaining numbers are, so this one, so x minus 1, okay, for this one. And then we have here 3x and then positive 1. So on the other side, it's 3x plus 1. Okay, so let's try to check if our answer is correct. So 3x times x, it's 3x squared. X times 1 is positive x. X times 3x, it's negative 1 times 3x, it's negative 3x. Negative 1 times 1, it's negative 1. Well, let's try to simplify 3x squared. So x minus 3x, it's negative 2x, then negative 1. Okay, so this is the answer. So the answer is this one. So therefore, as you can see that the given equation is correct. So as given equation is 3x squared minus 2x minus 1, and when we simplify that, so the answer is the same. So therefore, this factor is correct. Okay, so let's try for another example, that is 2x squared plus 3x minus 2. Okay, so first thing you have to do, the same thing. Okay, so that's number 2 example. Okay, So first thing you have to do is to multiply the first term and the last term. Okay, so that is the first thing you have to do when you factor this quadratic trinomials. Okay, so 2 times negative 2, that's negative 4. Okay, so don't forget, if you see it, if it is positive, so well, it is positive. Okay, so don't forget to see that one. Okay, so now what is the factor that of 4 that can be equal if we add it into, equal into positive 3? Okay, let's try. So can be 2 times 2, but when you add 2 times 2, it's positive 4. And then if we negative 2 and negative 2, it's 0. So well, we can use negative 1 times 4. Okay, negative times. Okay, so 1 times negative time 1 times 4, it's negative 4. Or else we can use negative 4 and 1. So negative 4 times 1 is equals to negative 4. So well, if we add this one, say for example, if we add negative 1 plus 4, it's 4. But negative 4 plus 1, it's negative what? No. If we add negative 1 plus 4, it's positive 3. Then when you add negative 4 plus 1, it's negative 3. So that's how you find the difference. Okay, so as you can see that you're looking for positive 3. Okay, so positive 3 here. So therefore, you have to use this one. Okay, I hope you understand that part. Well, let's try to rewrite. So 2x squared. So we have to substitute positive 3 to negative 1 or negative x. Okay, negative x plus 4x. Okay, so instead of 3x, guys, then negative 2. Okay, ganyan lang yan. Okay, so next, what you're going to do is to focus. Okay, focus on the first 2 terms. Okay, so check their common factors, 2x squared and x. So therefore, as we can see, it is x. Okay, so let's try. So 2x squared divided by x, it's 2x. Then x divided by x, it's negative 1. Okay, so for this one also, we have to factor. So what is the common factor for 4x minus 2? So I'm sure that it is 2. Okay, negative 2. Okay, that's negative 2, but it's 2. Okay, so now 4x divided by 2, it is 2x. Oh yeah, so it's 2x. Then 1. Okay, so for that part, we can now proceed. Okay, so let's divide this by its own, 2x minus 1. Okay, so it's cancelled. So now the remaining number is 2x minus 1 and also x plus 2. Well, let's try to simplify. Let's try to simplify. Okay, so it's positive here, so 2. Okay, so let's try to simplify. 2x times x, that is, okay, so hold on. Okay, 2x times x, that's 2x squared, and then 2x times 2, it's 4x. Okay, 4x. Negative 1 times x, it's negative x, and okay, negative. So negative 1 times 2, it's negative 2. Okay, so let's check, simplify. So 2x squared plus, okay, 4x minus x is 3x, then minus 2. Okay, so therefore this answer is correct. Okay, next example. So I'll make another bigger. So it's, say for example, 4x. Okay, let us hear. Okay, so say for example number 3 is 4x squared plus 7x minus 2. Okay, the first thing you have to do is to multiply the first and the third. Oh yes. Okay, so multiply this both. Okay, so negative 2 times 4, it's negative 8. Okay, it's negative 8. Okay, so factor this one. What is the factor of negative 8? That will equivalent into positive 7. Well, let's try to factor 1 times 8. So it's negative 8 here. Okay, so it's negative 8. Okay, so it's negative 8. Oh, what happens? Blurry. Okay, so negative 8. So what is the factor for negative 8? That can be 1 times negative 8 or negative 1 times 8. Okay, so 1 times negative 8, it's 8. negative 8. So negative 1 times 8, it's negative 8. So let's try to add this one. So 1 plus negative 8, it's negative 7. And negative 1 plus 8, it's positive 7. So look for here, if you can see that it's positive 7. Okay, so check also the sign. So it's positive 7, so you have to use this one. Okay, so next step is to rewrite, okay, for x squared. So instead of plus 7x, so you have to substitute it with negative x plus 8x minus 2. Okay, now you can start factoring. Okay, so 4x and x, the common factor for them is x. Okay, so 4x divided by x, it's 4x. Negative x times divided by x, it's negative 1. Okay, in this way, so plus, what is the common factor for 8x and negative 2? So therefore it's 2. Okay, so next is you have to divide 8x divided by 2, it is 4x. Negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. Okay, so divided by its own, 4x minus 1. Okay, so cancelled. Therefore the remaining number is 4x minus 1 and also x plus 2. Okay, let's try to simplify to make sure the answer is correct. So 4x squared, okay, 4x times x, it's 4x squared. 4x times 2 is equals to positive 8x. Negative 1 times x, it's negative x. And then negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. So let's simplify 4x squared. So 8x minus x is positive 7x. And then copy the negative 2. Therefore, this answer is correct. Okay? So I hope you learned a lot from this video, and I hope you don't forget to hit like, share, and yes, at the same time subscribe, and don't forget to press the notification bell for you to be updated for my next video. Okay, enjoy, and I hope you learned a lot. General quadratic trinomials. Bye bye for now.